This is the book of Job, chapter 32, verse 8. But there's a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Haloyim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakhakwadah. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and the elders, my teachers, who rule well and are worthy of the double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time. Shalom. Back at you with another lesson. It's going to be entitled, Conduct Yourself in a Way That Inspires Others. Conduct yourself in a way that inspires others. And we must conduct ourselves in a way or in ways that inspire others through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to do the works in the will of the Father. I'll just jump straight into it. It's the book of Job, chapter 32, verse 8. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Now I want to read that same verse in the NLT, then I want to get that word inspiration, because the title of the lesson is Conduct Yourself in a Way That Inspires Others. Those others being out of the house and the nation of Israel, all right? Specifically the elect of the nation of Israel, all right? Your neighbor, your brothers, the men of the Lord. This is Job 32 and 8 in the NLT. But there is a spirit within people, the breath of the Almighty within them, that makes them intelligent. That's right. So the inspiration or the spirit, all right, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai makes us intelligent. Okay? And we use that spirit through the Lashon Kodash, the holy tongue, all right, in the Hebrew, in this word, to inspire others. It's the word inspiration.
Strong's H, 5397.
Neshama, Strong's H, 5396, it says breath, spirit. And we know that breath, all right, which is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, was first given on to Adam, all right, breath into Adam, all right, and he was made a living soul, okay? It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 3, verse 4. O Lord, who bearest rule, thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandest the people. Okay, commandest the people how? All right, and gavest a body unto Adam without soul. Okay, so Adam was without soul until the Most High breath or inspired Adam. All right, or put that inspiration in Adam. All right, to make him intelligent. All right, to make him have order. Okay, and it is the same way that we have intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, order. Okay, through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in these latter days, which we use to inspire our fellow brothers. All right, through the spirit, through prophecy, put up different epistles, different videos, edification, lessons going into topics that are current to inspire other brothers, from the apostles on down to the least of us, all right? Inspire other brothers to be motivated, to keep pushing, all right, and to endure. The latter end of verse 5, and did breathe into him the breath of life, which is the inspiration, which we just read, and he was made living before thee. You see, he was made living. How? Because he was given that inspiration, that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding, all right? Back in that breath, it says, every breathing thing, spirit of man. So the spirit is the inspiration, all right? The spirit inspires us to conduct ourselves in a way that rubs off on other brothers righteously, you know? Set good examples. Be a good leader so other brothers can pattern themselves after us, which ultimately we're patterning ourselves after Yahweh Shai, okay? Who's patterned after the Father Yahweh. All right, Strong's definition, it says wind, angry or vital breath, divine inspiration, intellect, intellect, soul, spirit, divine inspiration, intellect. You see? Now let's go back, all right, to Job chapter 32 and verse 8 and read it again. This is Job 32 and 8. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. And I want to bring this out because ultimately, through the inspiration of the Lord, we inspire others, right? So we can't do it without Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. I just wanted to bring that out just to show first and foremost that we get the inspiration from the Lord. All right, the inspiration, okay, doesn't just come from our own minds because ultimately the Lord controls our minds. So we get ideas, we brainstorm, we rough draft, all right? We get that dopamine going in our minds. We get our brains revved up, ultimately due to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay? Now let's go to 1 Peter, the first chapter, and the 15th verse. And it reads, but as he which hath called you is holy, who's that talking about? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right? Church means to call out. So ultimately, the Lord had made the church holy. All right? As is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So we're setting apart. All right? Because holy means separate and setting apart, right? So ultimately right there, that tells you, okay, well, if we're set apart, then we're not going to act like those that aren't set apart. All right, which is the world. So ultimately, we have to conduct ourselves in a way that is going to inspire others that are holy. It says, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation. And we go into that word conversation a lot because it goes into your anastrophe. All right, your conduct or your behavior. And your conduct or behavior is what other brothers pattern themselves by. They look at you for. All right, they might see a strength that you have and try to take that on to their likeness, man. But all through righteousness, all right? Because ultimately we pattern ourselves after Yahushua. Okay, it says, and a strophe.
Strong's G391.
Anastrophe, it says manner of life, conduct, you see? Going into the lesson, conduct yourself in a way that inspires others. Okay, and I want to get that word inspire off just a quick definition. Off of Google, it says, fill someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. And that's likened into putting a spirit on a different brother. All right, the apostles always go into different lessons, elder brothers, all right, different brothers across the four corners go into lessons, and they put the spirit on other brothers to dive into those topics. All right. Or to dive into another topic that might be associated with it, just to land back on the brother, all right, just for further edification, all right. So we inspire each other righteously, not to just, not to go out and do something criminal or mischievous or deceitful. No, man, we inspire each other for a healthy way, all right, beneficial, all right, something that's going to be productive and add on to the house, add on to the building, okay, of this thing. Of the spiritual temple. Second verse, second definition, it says breathe in air, exhale. Going back to that breath again. This is just a simple Google definition. It goes into that breath, man. So the breath of life, all right, inspires us, which is the spirit, okay? And I just want to get that word conduct off of Google. Going into the anastrophe, it says conduct, the manner in which a person behaves, right? Because the way you behave, that can inspire others. All right? Someone can see your seriousness, your purpose. All right? You're not always joking around. Okay? You're on, so to speak. You know, you're on fire. You're in the spirit. You're lively. Right? And they take on to that likeness. All right? But ultimately, we have to be mindful of our conduct, so that it can inspire others in a helpful way and not hurt others. Because your conduct or your behavior, especially being in a leadership position, it can rub off or influence improperly if you don't watch yourself. The second part, it says the action or manner of managing an activity or organization. conduct, you see? And that's the role that we must take on. We have to manage not only our activity, but manage certain church activities, man. Certain activities amongst the brotherhood, all right? Amongst the church, amongst the body. It says organize and carry out, lead or guide. That's the point I want to make. It says lead or guide someone to or around a particular place. All right. Ultimately, Yahushua was that chief shepherd, right? And ultimately, we're pattern ourselves after that chief shepherd, which is the chief cornerstone, man. And we're leading the flocks. We're being of a good influence. We're conducting ourselves properly. 1 Peter 5:4 says, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, who's the chief shepherd? I'll start at 1. This is 1 Peter 5:1. I'll jump down. The elders, which are among you, I exhort, whom am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Yahushua Mashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. And how can we become partakers of the glory? By conducting ourselves in a way that inspires others. We know that Yahushua did it, so if we're continuing to pattern ourselves after things that Yahushua did, we could go no wrong. We could do no wrong. All right? 1 Peter 5:4. And when the chief shepherd is talking about Yahushua, okay? Now I'll read 2 and I'll read down to 4. Salakiyaki. Verse 2. Feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, right? A ready mind of the spirit, of that inspiration, all right? Sound doctrine, feeding the flock. And you feed the flock by conducting yourself in a way that the flock can pattern themselves after, man. Being a good example, being a good role model, being a good brother, all right? Being a good pattern, showing a good pattern of works. 1 Peter 5:3, neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being examples to the flock. Right, you have to be an example to the flock, man. And this is beautiful. I get that first Peter 5. I just want to get that word. An example, man. Examples. Let's get that word. It says typos. Ooh, beautiful.
Strong's G 5179. Tupos.
Ooh, typos, like typos, because this is beautiful, because when you go in Colossians 1 and you get that word preeminence going into Yahushua being first, right? The first fruit. It kind of sounds like typos, like prototype typos. So ultimately, we're those examples, because the ultimate example was Yahushua. So we're those prototypes after Yahushua. We were made in the image. It says the you know that word, the M of a stroke or blow print, because we have been, the scriptures tell you what a perfect man, all right? For the end of that man is peace, right? That tav, that exemption. It says a figure formed by a blow or impression. Ooh, and that's likened onto the elect, man. We're being formed, all right, by blows, by being chastised, by being scourged, all right? It says of a figure or image. Ooh, and so an example. Who's that ultimate figure or image? All right, whom we received in a figure. That's talking about Yahushua. So we're ultimately those 144,000 figures, those images. All right, but as a good image, okay, you have to conduct yourself in a way that's so to speak, putting that spirit on the other images, man, to keep that spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua rolling. You gotta watch how you move, watch what you say, watch what you do, all right? And just always be mindful that we're those prototypes, we're those images, we're those ambassadors for the Lord, all right? 1 Peter 5:4, and when the chief shepherd, who is Yahushua, shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away, which is that crown of life, man, which is eternal, which is immortality, which we seek after, man. But it first starts within. You have to be that good example for brothers to follow. You have to be that good pillar, all right? You have to be that ensample. It's Proverbs 11:14. It says, where there is no counsel, the people fail. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Salaki. Read it again. It says, Proverbs 11:14, where no counsel is, the people fall, right? Because no counsel means what? No sound doctrine, no spirit, no inspiration, all right? The role of a counselor is to do what? Aid a person in basically making wise decisions, right? So this is particularly important for those who lead people, which are the men of the Lord. We lead people. We're being led by Yahushua, all right? So we cater to different brothers and assist them in making wise decisions by doing what? Conducting ourselves in a way that puts the spirit on them, that inspires them, that motivates them, that gets them going, right? Okay. Just backing that up, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 20. I'm going to start at 26. And it reads, Yahushua speaking, but it shall not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man, whom Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. Ooh. And Yahushua washed the feet of the disciples, man, just showing you, all right, that he conducted himself in a way that inspires others. All right. He inspired everybody else by being the greatest, but still taking the lowest seat to wash the feet of the disciples, man. All right. Still being a servant. All right. So ultimately, we have to take on that position by being humble. It starts with being humble as well, man. Because to know that you have weaknesses and you have things to work on, and you're constantly going to give your life to working on those things in the Lord, it takes a lot of humility, man. Because this world is filled with pride. It's filled with the evil spirit that everybody thinks they're too good, better than everyone else. It's dog eat dog, man. So the Most High requires us to conduct ourselves in humility. All right, inspire the flock, man. Inspire the brothers, those that believe, the believers. This is Ephesians 4:11. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers. Read that again. And he gave some apostles, some prophets, and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers. So the Lord gives out many administrations of offices, all right, different roles, okay, that we have to play out. And some roles ultimately basically they go into other roles. So you might have dual roles, you might have triple roles, man. So ultimately we're standing in our lot in these latter days, but with that notion, we have to conduct ourselves in a way, all right, that others can look up to, so to speak. All right. Now it says, verse 12, for the perfecting. Now, this is why the Lord had gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers. It said, verse 12, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahushua Mashiach. Because brothers have different jobs. It's a cycle of learning, but ultimately all for the edification of Yahushua. So we all have the ability to inspire others. Okay, because there's many roles out there that the Lord has given us, man. But all through the Spirit, all through the like the scriptures tell you, there'll be many offices basically, but all to the same Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So we all have the ability to inspire others. We just have to always keep that in mind that we can do it. All right, we can learn, we can be better, we can grow in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Lord willing, this message was edifying. I'm going to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Call Haloyim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and are worthy of the double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last 6 of time. Kwame Shalom. Shalom.